Since the day public curfew announced, everyone of us is trying to get more and more information about coronavirus, COVID-19, and therapy associated with it. Today's webinar is not a different. I will try my best to educate you more with this disease. So let's begin today's webinar on mankind versus coronavirus, fight against the pandemic. I, Dr. Sachin Kadam, Chief Technology Officer of Advanced Cells Group, welcomes you in today's webinar. I have divided today's talk in three major parts. I will discuss about the disease and prevention with major focus on treatment. COVID-19 or coronavirus disease 2019 is the infectious disease caused by most recently discovered coronavirus. This new virus and disease were unlocked. So this new virus and disease were unknown before outbreak begins in Wuhan, China in December 2019. The World Health Organization declared the outbreak a public health emergency of international concern on 30th January and pandemic on 11th March. Now, entire world is fighting against this pandemic. The disease caused due to coronavirus is called COVID-19. And the strain of virus is called severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, or in short, SARS-CoV-2. It also sometimes called as novel coronavirus or COVID-19 infection that started at seafood market in Wuhan during late 2019. The first batch of confirmed coronavirus cause or cases outside China was reported in mid-January. 2 cases in Thailand and 1 each in Japan and Korea. By February 15, the virus had spread to almost half of the world, with Italy as worst hit, followed by France, Germany, UK. In no time, USA overtook Italy for a number of positive cases and death due to infection. By March 20th, almost entire world was under coronavirus outbreak. Coronavirus are found in diverse array of bat and bird species, which are believed to act as natural hosts. Molecular clock dating analysis or analyze the coronavirus that the most recent common ancestor of these viruses exist around 10,000 years ago. This relatively young age is in sharp contrast to the ancient evolutionary history of their putative natural host, which begins diversifying tens of millions of years ago. So in these slides, we can see different strains of coronavirus that have been found at that particular era. For example, beta coronavirus in 3300 BC, and so on and so forth. Coronavirus are a large family of viruses which may cause illness in animal or human. In human, several coronaviruses are known to cause respiratory infection, ranging from the common cold to more severe disease such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome or MERS and severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS. The most recent discovered coronavirus cause coronavirus disease or COVID-19. This coronavirus is a group related to RNA virus or RNA viruses family that cause disease in mammal as well as in birds. In human, these viruses cause respiratory tract infection that can range from mild to lethal disease. Mild illnesses include some cases of common cold. Coronavirus are large, mostly spherical, sometimes pleomorphic particles with bulbous surface projection. The average diameter of the virus particle is around 125 nanometer. The diameter of the envelope is around 85 nanometer, and spikes are somewhere around 20 nanometer. The envelope of the virus in electron micrograph appears as distinct pair of electron dense shells. You can see that in the right hand side image. The viral envelope consists of a lipid bilayer where the membrane or M, envelope or E, and spike, in short S, structural protein are encoded. COVID-19 is spread through human to human transmission that we know now. We already know a lot of other viruses in coronavirus family, and most of these types of viruses have an origin in animals. The COVID-19 virus is a new virus in human. The possible animal source for COVID-19 has not yet been confirmed, but research is still going on. In February 2020, Chinese researchers found that there is only one amino acid difference in binding domain of S protein between coronavirus from pangolin and those from humans. However, whole genome comparison to date found that almost 92% of genetic material was shared between pangolin coronavirus and SARS coronavirus 2. WHO is continuously monitoring the latest research on this aspect and COVID-19 topic, and they are updating us on new findings available. People can catch COVID-19 from others who have the viruses. The disease primarily from person to person spread through small droplets from nose and or mouth, which are expelled when person of COVID-19 coughs, sneeze or speaks. These droplets are relatively heavy, do not travel far, and quickly sink to the ground. People can catch coronavirus if they breathe in these droplets from persons infected with coronavirus. This is why it is important to stay at least 3 feet or 1 meter away from others. These droplets can land onto objects and or surfaces, then touching these surfaces and then to eye, nose, nostrils, mouth can transmit this virus from infected person to non-infected human being. The most important thing to know about the coronavirus on surface is that they can easily be cleaned with common household disinfectant that will kill the virus. Studies have shown that COVID-19 virus can survive up to 72 hours on plastics and stainless steel, less than 4 hours on copper, less than 24 hours on cardboard. Infection of coronavirus begins when the viral spike protein attached to complementary host cell receptor. So, depending on the host cell protease available, cleavage and activation allow the virus to enter the host cell by endocytosis or direct fusion of viral envelope with the host membrane. On entry into the host cell, the virus particle get rid of its outer cover or envelope, and the genome enters into the host cell cytoplasm. The host ribosome translate and open the virus genome and form a long polyprotein. Then the replication of virus begins inside the host cell. the main replicase transcriptase protein, that is the RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, is directly involved in replication of the transcription of RNA from several RNA strands. The other non-structural protein in the complex assists in replication of transcription process. On the main function of one of the main function of this complex is to replicate the viral genome. The other important functions of complex is to transcribe the viral genome. Once multiple copies of viral genome is ready to release, process happens where mRNA are translated by the host ribosome into structural protein, and the number of accessory protein. RNA translation occurs inside the endoplasmic reticulum. The virus structural protein S, E, and M move along the secretory pathway into the Golgi apparatus. There, the M protein direct most protein-protein interaction required to assembly of virus following the binding to the nucleocapsid. Progeny of viruses are then released from the host cell by exocytosis process through a secretory vesicles. People with COVID-19 have had wide range of symptoms reported, ranging from mild symptoms to severe illness. Symptoms may appear 2 to 14 days after exposure of virus. People with these symptoms or combination of symptoms may have coronavirus disease. The most common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, dry cough, tiredness. Some patients may have ache and pains, nasal congestion, sore throat, or diarrhea. These symptoms are usually mild and begin gradually. Some people become infected but only have very mild symptoms. Most people, somewhere around more than 80%, recover from the disease without needing hospital treatment. Around 1 out of 5 people who gets COVID-19 becomes seriously ill and develop difficulty in breathing. Older people and those with underlying medical problem like high blood pressure, heart disease, lung problem, diabetes, cancer are at high risk of developing serious illnesses. However, anyone can catch COVID-19 and become seriously ill. Even people with mild symptoms of COVID-19 can transmit the virus. People of all ages who experience fever, cough, and difficulty in breathing should seek medical attention. COVID-19 is mainly spread through respiratory droplets expelled by someone who's coughing or sneezing and the person who's having these symptoms like fever and tiredness. Many people with COVID-19 experience only mild symptoms, with particularly true in the early stage of diseases. It is possible to catch COVID-19 from someone who has just mild cough and does not feel ill. Some reports have indicated that people with no symptoms can transmit the virus. It is not yet known how often it happens. WHO is assessing ongoing research on the topic, and they are sharing the information continuously with the world. If you have symptoms, do not afraid or hide them. Please contact the nodal officer of healthcare and inform them about the symptoms. It is essential to follow all rules and regulations given by doctors to cure your disease. Remember, about 80% of people recover from this disease without needing any special treatment. When we are talking about statistics of coronavirus, research indicates that children, adolescents are also likely to become infected, as any other age group can spread the disease. Evidence to date suggests that children and young adults are less likely to get the severe disease, but severe cases can still happen in these age groups. children and adult should follow the same guidance on self quarantine and self isolation if there is a risk they have been exposed or showing any symptoms. It is particularly important that children avoid contact with older people and other who are at high risk or more severe diseases. As of today morning, the Johns Hopkins University have confirmed that almost 32 lakhs people across the globe are infected with coronavirus, with United States of America leading with over 10 lakh positive cases. Spain, Italy, France, UK, Germany are following the lead with some of the worst hit countries. Of these infected people, almost 2,30,000 deaths have been reported so far. In India, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare have confirmed 23,651 active cases as of today morning, with 4% death rate and 11 days of doubling time in these cases. Maharashtra is the worst hit state in India. At the moment, the majority of COVID-19 tests that are happening are PCR based. The COVID-19 real-time PCR test is a real-time reverse transcription polymerase reaction for qualitative and quantitative detection of nucleic acid from COVID-infected persons in upper or lower respiratory specimens. So these specimens are nasal swab or oropharyngeal swab, sputum, lower respiratory tract, aspirate, etc. These samples are collected from individual suspected from COVID by their healthcare provider. PCR tests are used to directly to detect presence of coronavirus antigen rather than presence of body's immune response or antibody. By detecting viral RNA, which will be present in body before antibodies form or symptoms of disease are present, the test can tell whether or not someone has virus or he's infected or he's not infected. PCR gives us good indication of who's infected. There can be isolated, they can be isolated and get in contact with people they have been in touch with so that they can be quarantined just in case required. That's the true advantage of the current major diagnostic test when it comes to PCR. The number of laboratories and companies are developing serological tests for COVID detection, which detect antibodies produced by the body in response to infection. As of 6th April 2020, none of these have been proved sufficiently accurate to be approved for widespread use. The rapid test of COVID-19 provides quantitative detection of immunoglobulin G and immunoglobulin M from human serum or whole blood or plasma. And this everything happens in approximately 10 to 15 minutes. IgG and IgM are immunoglobulin produced by immune system to provide protection against coronavirus. Anti-coronavirus IgM and IgG can therefore be detected in samples from affected patients. The test detect the presence of patients generated antibodies against coronavirus 2, the virus which caused the disease COVID-19. The test can detect two types of antibodies, as I have already mentioned, IgG and IgM. This we all know that practicing hand and respiratory hygiene is always important, and it is the best way to protect others and yourself. When possible, maintain at least 1 meter or 3 feet distance between yourself and other. This is especially important if you are standing by someone who's coughing or sneezing. Since some infected person may not yet be exhibiting symptoms, or their symptoms may be mild, maintaining the physical distance with everyone is a good idea if you are in area where coronavirus is circulating. Using mask is another thing which one should follow. If symptoms prevails, seeking medical attention is highly recommended. So in this slide, it's almost a repetition that for protection measure, people have to stay home. If they see any symptoms, the medical attention is highly recommended. If and if only required, one should go out, but that also not without wearing mask to minimize the infection. And call your provider and inform them about any recent travel if you have done, especially in the countries which have reported high number of cases of coronavirus. When we are talking about the drug for coronavirus treatment, as of April 2020, there is no specific treatment for COVID-19. Research is, however, going on. For symptoms, some medical professionals recommend paracetamols over ibuprofen for first line of use. The WHO and National Institute of Health do not oppose these use of so-called NSAIDs drug like ibuprofen for symptoms. There is uncertainty over whether hydroxychloroquine can successfully treat COVID-19. Current data do not support the use of hydroxychloroquine for prophylaxis or treatment for coronavirus disease. However, some reports have contradicts these findings. While theoretical concerns have been raised about ACE inhibitor and angiotensin receptor blocker, there are not sufficient to justify stopping these medications. Steroids such as methyl prednisone are recommended unless the disease is complicated by acute respiratory disease symptom. Medication to prevent blood clotting have been suggested for the treatment, and anticoagulant therapy with low molecular weight heparin appears to be associated with better outcome in severe COVID-19, showing signs of elevated D-dimer. Just today, National Institute of Health have declared that a government-run study of Gilead's remdesivir drug shows good response to COVID patients during the treatment. However, we should know that any self-medication is harmful and can give rise to other complications. Hence, self-medication needs to be avoided. Now, many people are talking about this plasma therapy or convalescent plasma therapy. So what this convalescent plasma therapy is? Convalescent plasma therapy involves transfusing certain components from blood of people who have recovered from virus attack into people who are very sick with virus or people who are at high risk of getting virus. As people fight the virus, they produce antibodies that attacks viruses. These antibodies, proteins that secreted by immune cells, generally known as B lymphocytes, are found in plasma or liquid part of the blood that helps the blood to clot and support immunity. Once a person recovered, that person has developed these antibodies that will stay in their blood waiting to fight the same virus. Those antibodies, when injected into another person with disease, recognize the virus as something to attack. One dose of 200 ml of convalescent plasma obtained required to have antibody titer of somewhere around 1:640 when transfused to patients for maximal supportive care. Apart from donor match, other viral or infectious diseases can be a serious issue when somebody is considering convalescent plasma therapy. So coming to the vaccine, as of now, there is no vaccine, but various agencies have actively developing vaccine candidate. Previously worked on SARS coronavirus is being used because both SARS coronavirus and SARS coronavirus 2 use ACE2 receptor to enter human cells. Three vaccination strategies are being investigated as of now worldwide. The first is where researchers aim to build whole virus vaccine. The use of such virus, be it inactive or dead, aims to elicit a prompt immune response of human body to new infection with COVID-19. A second strategy is subunit vaccine, aims to create a vaccine that sensitize the immune system to certain subunit of the vaccine of viruses. In the case of SARS coronavirus 2, such research focus on spike or S protein that helps the virus include ACE2 enzyme receptor. The third strategy is that the nucleic acid vaccine, DNA or RNA vaccine, experimental vaccines from any of these strategies would have been tested for safety and efficacy. Recent findings that scientists at Oxford University have begun clinical trials of corona vaccine that has shown promising results in rhesus monkey. And hopefully this vaccine will be ready by fall for use in human. So let's see if stem cells can be helpful in case of fighting coronavirus. We all know that stem cells has immunomodulatory effect. So immunomodulatory and anti-inflammatory properties of mesenchymal stem cells in the treatment of respiratory disease are already confirmed by 17 completed clinical trials. And almost 70 trials are registered in this regards. Mesenchymal stem cells based immunomodulation treatment has been proposed as suitable therapeutic approach, and several clinical trials have already begun. Recently, mesenchymal stem cells, according to their immunomodulatory and regenerative properties, attract attention in clinical trials. After the intravenous transplantation of mesenchymal stem cells, a significant population of these cells accumulate in lungs, which they, alongside immunomodulatory effect that protects alveolar epithelial cells, reclaim the pulmonary microenvironment, prevent pulmonary fibrosis, and cure lung dysfunctions. So with this, stem cells also can be seen with the high hope to treat coronavirus disease. To sum up, what we need to remember are following 5 points. Treatment. While number of new treatments are being tried, at the moment, many are failing and they will fail. Yet, remaining optimistic that some of these treatments will reduce the disease burden is more important. Vaccines. Vaccines have saved many lives than any other tool in history. The typical development time for vaccine against new disease is around 5 years. Researchers are still trying their best to reduce the time to 18 months while developing the COVID vaccines by compressing the clinical safety phase and build the manufacturing capacity in parallel. Testing. Prioritize the testing on right people like COVID warriors. Results of the test should come back within 24 hours. People without symptoms should not be tested until we have enough tests for everyone with symptoms. Contact tracing. Interviewing everyone who tests positive. Use the database to make sure that there is a follow-up with all the contacts. The pattern of infection should be studied to see where the risk is highest, and accordingly the treatment measure should be happening. Opening up. Rules about what is allowed needs to be changed now. People can go out, but not as often and not to crowded places. Allowing activities that have large benefits to economy or human welfare. Scientists and subject experts says that the coronavirus will not be eradicated so soon, adding to growing conscious around the world that the pathogen will likely to return in waves like the flu. There are not things are not normal now. Whatever was normal yesterday seems difficult to follow now. Hence, we need to adapt to the current scenario and create the new normal for us. This is our priority and current scenario. So guys, stay home, stay safe, and follow all the rules and regulations. I'm done with the webinar. If you have any queries, questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much. So guys, we already have a few questions here. So let's start with these questions. Okay. Somebody's asking, Moise is asking about the virus is lab manufactured or not. This is a very controversial topic. I don't want to touch this. As you all know, US is already finding evidence that this virus was lab made and it was mutated. This could be a possibility because people are saying Chinese people are saying the transmission is from bats to human, and there was the missing middle link in between. So there could be chances that this virus is lab manufactured, but as of now, I will not be able to comment on this. Can we expect everything will be normal this year? Well, Anita, I don't really think everything will be normal, by the end of this year, unless and until, we all get vaccines, we develop herd immunity, things will remain vulnerable, virus will remain with us for, year or maybe longer. Kalpana is asking, what should I do if I have had close contact with someone who has COVID-19? Well, Kalpana, in that case, I will suggest, like, if you realize that you are in contact with the person, first and foremost thing you should need to do is sanitize yourself. Sanitize in the sense, wash your hands, clean your clothes, the one which you had worn, and then quarantine yourself for next 12 to 14 days to see if you have developed any symptoms. If symptoms appears, you have to contact medical personnel. What about the rumors of mutation of nCoV? So, well, these are not actually rumors. There are evidences which have found that virus have mutated. even when it travels or crosses the border, the country-wise, there is a different viral strain of novel coronavirus, and it has been confirmed that the mutation have occurred in the coronavirus. Can animals be infected with SARS-CoV-2? Well, Kaushik, yes, we already have seen few references where tigers in US zoo, or they have been infected. Few domestic animals in China have found infected with coronavirus. So yes, animals can get infection with this coronavirus. How advanced cells can help for COVID-19? Abhimanyu is asking this question. So Abhimanyu, as you know, we are working in stem cells area. Not just we are treating people, but we are also engaged into research. So as of now, we are trying our best to develop some diagnostic kits for rapid diagnostic kits for coronavirus detection. Simultaneously, we are working on some stem cells and stem cell related products for therapeutic purposes when it comes to COVID-19. So yes, definitely Advanced Cells is working to tackle COVID-19 today and in future. Amresh is asking, what if we predict repurposed drug of COVID-19 in silico approach, how much it will be relevant? Well, I am not a right person to comment on this, Amresh, because my in silico approach is not that great when it comes to drug development. However, as I have already mentioned, people are trying their level best. Research is going on. So unless and until something substantial come, we just can't comment on that. Tarika is asking, how stem cell therapy be useful for treatment of COVID infections? Well, Tarika, thank you for this wonderful question. I would like to, throw some light on this, that stem cells per se, they will not directly help in treatment of COVID-19. As I have mentioned in my slides, stem cells have an immunomodulatory effect. So these immunomodulatory effect can be used to boost the immune system, and then the immune system can fight against COVID-19 infection. Again, as I have mentioned, these stem cells also have a capacity to spread and across the body, and also helps in regenerating of some cells or organs in our body. So that way, if we give the IV injections of stem cells will happen to home in lungs, and then there are chances that these stem cells will help into strengthening the lung and respiratory system. So I think these were the questions asked so far. I thank you all for your great participation, and thank you so much for attending. Again, just be safe, take care, stay healthy, and I just hope everything will be normal too soon. Thank you so much.